Do you sincerely wish for a miracle? You certainly do. What? Do you truly want a miracle, no matter what form it may take? Well, yeah. I've tried everything else. God is all I can ask for help anymore. I know that what you're going to say, that there's no such things as miracles. If there were Nelly, and Nelly would already get better. Maybe they didn't have the Witch of Miracles. And no Mineko enjoyers in the comments. Imagine the Witch of Miracles trying to fix Nelly. I don't think that's the best idea. I've prayed every single night for her recovery. On the other hand, cats can get people better. Yeah, at least mentally. Unless they're violent. Yeah, that could be wrong. It's all just illusion, I know. Miracles do exist. What? If you have faith, and you sincerely wish for her to be healed, you will be granted your miracle. What are you talking about, Morgana? You said many times that you wish to know more about me. Yeah, I have. Well, I will grant you that wish. As you listen to my story, you will come to understand why I said you will never be able to empathize with me. And as you do, hope will sprout up within you. Here, in my lakeside cottage, I am known as the Witch, but I did not used to be called such. No? I am the daughter of God. Yeah. Still had this image in her head there. Most of people would dismiss such a claims as madness, and I almost did exactly that. There was something strangely enchanting about her voice, and I found myself slowly drawn into her tale, listening intently to her every word. The more I heard, the harder it was to believe she was lying. And before long, I was convinced she was the daughter of God, a saint whose blood had miraculous powers. Her first cry ended a lengthy drought in the village where she was born, and her blood cured the sick. She rolled up on a slave to show me her arm. Practically every inch of skin, from her shoulder to the tip of her fingers, was scarred from where she's been cut. According to her, the scarring had once been far worse, but it improved with the application of the ointment. Every single one of those scars, she said, marked the person who had sought her blood. And I believed every word. There was something about her that set her apart from the rest of us normal people. Like she was some higher being. They were not self-inflicted wounds, not the marks of someone who had tried to take her own life, but symbols of the great sacrifices she had made, and she's been forced to, at some point. Don't forget about that. She offered to give Nelly her blood, and without one hesitation, I accepted. Okay. Oh, this is the place where, like, she visited Nelly for the first time. Mel? Also, yeah, this soundtrack is extremely loud. I never can, like, figure it out, because most of the soundtrack in the game is very silent. And, like, I don't know, like, it's hard for me to determine how loud it should be. I will do it like, yeah, I will just keep it like that, I guess, for now. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want this to be like on the same level as my voice as I stop talking. I feel like it's like a little bit annoying if like music is too loud suddenly. Mel? Hey Nelly, I'm back. And I brought someone with me. Saint. saint? Yep. She's here because medicine has been working for you. She can perform miracles, so she is going to cure you. Miracles? That's right. Her blood has miraculous healing powers. Blood? Fear not, my beloved sister. Hear my words and do as I say. You must have faith for the miracle to be performed correctly. I give you my blessing, that it may bestow upon you and unto you salvation. I give you my love, and I give you relief. Hear my words. I hear them. Wow. The whole ritual. This body was created not in the mortal womb. The flesh is not the flesh of man. This blood is not the blood of man. The water that flows through those holy veins flows from the river of creation. Have mercy on them, O Father. May the informed find comfort in your warmth. May the destitute find reprieve in your generosity. May my flesh bring nourishment and health unto this girl. Bestow upon her your blessing, O Father. Morgana held a pale hand above Nelly's mouth and without hesitation sliced her on the wrist. Blood slowly trickled down her middle finger from the cut, dripping into the gap between Nelly's bluish lips. I stood there entranced by the scene. It was like I was witnessing some kind of ritual, because it is a ritual. It's literally a ritualistic, like, thing. Yeah. I wasn't sure, however, whether to describe it as a sacred or profane. Watching the fresh blood trickle from the cut on her wrist made me break into a sweat, feeling like I was violating a taboo. My knees rattled, and I could barely stay on my feet. Needles pricked my hands. Needles pricked my hands. Thoughts slipped through my fingers before they could fully form. Had I crossed the line that was meant to be crossed? Had I stepped into the territory man was never supposed to enter? In time, I stopped processing Morgana's prayer as words. It became nothing but a rhythmical sequence of sounds bouncing around in my head. Huh. Interesting, so he didn't like it from the very beginning. I mean... yeah. From like his current situation, you can also assume like he never liked that. But he wanted to do anything for Nelly, which basically meant for himself, as we learned. My line of sight grew gradually narrower. Huh? What? Huh? Are you right? The ceremony is complete. Oh, how's Nelly? She's asleep right now, but she should awaken soon. Oh, good. My blood has the power to cause miracles, but you must remember that the miracles is predicted on your faith. So are you saying that we need to worship you? No, I'm merely as God's progeny. Your praises and prayers you directed at my Father, the Lord God. I should get going then. Yeah. Thank you very much. What Morgana had said, I would never be able to understand or empathize with her. She had not been lying. Having only heard her tale of it, I'd still believe there was room for me to close the gap between us. We still had enough in common, but seeing it with my own eyes, feeling it with my entire being, I no longer had any illusions of us being on the same plane. As I gave her my thanks, my voice was audibly trembling. And there goes out of the window, like, moment where Mel could save her, actually, if you think about this. Like, this is the part where he stopped thinking about her as equal and, like, talking to her in general and stuff. Mel? Come on, get up, dearest Mel. Mel. Nelly? Nelly's up. Yeah. That's like... I just cannot believe it, like, this works like this. I just cannot believe it. Like, is placebo effect really that big? Is that really a thing? I don't know. I have no idea. Finally, you're awake, sleepyhead. Huh? What with the look? Am I making funny face? Are you good to be up and about? Yep, I woke up this morning, feeling wonderful. In my forehead, Miles, see? No fever. It's gone. She actually performed a miracle. I only remember bits and pieces, but I remember a really pretty saint lady showing up and giving me her blood. That's how she remembers it. Her memory is pretty hazy, yeah. And then I got this warm and fuzzy feeling inside me, and then I had this really strange dream. What kind of dream? There were the whole bunch of lights floating all around me, and they were changing into all sorts of different colors. It was the most wonderful dream. That doesn't help me understand at all, Nelly. It was a good dream, and that's what matters. It must have been the saint lady's power at work. Must be, yeah. I'm so relieved. You are feeling better, Nelly. Sorry for all the trouble I caused you. But now, everything can go back to normal. Yep. All back to normal. Yeah. How did you meet Yukimasa? How did that happen? She wants to thank me? Yeah, Nelly's insisting I let her meet you so she can show her gratitude. So, if it's alright, would you mind coming to supper sometime? That would probably not be wise. Huh? Why not? It would hardly be pleasant having to eat in the presence of the face as grotesque as mine. And I doubt your sister would react well to the sight of it. I don't think it would cause any problems. Nelly isn't that kind of girl to judge someone by their looks. I don't think. Perhaps not. But to her I'm saint, not a normal person. In her mind she thinks I'm beautiful, doesn't she? Yeah, and that makes a misunderstanding later on. We must maintain that illusion. It's essential, the miracle that her faith remains unwavering. And on some level, that faith depends on her idolized image of me. You think so? Yeah, pretty much. Can see it happening. Though our time together was brief, I could see it in her. She's a girl with a great love of beauty. And perhaps the same could be said of you. I don't judge people by how they look. It's what's inside that matters. I'll take you at your word. Thanks. So, are you sure you don't want to come? I really shouldn't, I'm terribly sorry. Okay. Why in the world am I feeling relieved? Yeah. Not good. This is starting to falling apart. Still, I see no reason why would Mel betray Morgana. I mean, Nelly started to feeling sick again, right? Because he's like getting blood from her, if I remember correctly, right? And then suddenly Yukimusa came and like chopped off her hand. Yukimasa, sorry. Nelly recovering was a huge weight off my shoulders. Now everything could go back to the way it was, quite unremarkable. I could finally go out and get a real job, forget about my old life, live like a regular old commoner. That was what I was going to do, for the both of us. The problem was Nelly hadn't actually recovered completely. She was in a near perfect health the first few days after drinking Morgana's blood. But soon her fever came back, She stopped being able to get out of bed, and on top of it all, she started having lengthy coughing fits. Yeah, it's getting worse. How did she survive for so long only on Morgana blood? How the hell placebo effect works that well? During some of them, she caught up a little bit of bloody phlegm. I nearly had a panic attack. So I rushed down to Morgana cottage and told her what was happening. So she responded with quizzically tilt of her head. Nearly health meant everything to me. It certainly wasn't the curiosity her head tilt seems to make it out to be. But it didn't seem to bother her at all. The miracle took place, but it didn't persist. That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, they still believe there's the miracle that should like be forever. But it's true, she can't get out of bed. That's not a problem with her faith. I've been teaching her the word of God every night. She absolutely believes in you, in her saint. Lower your voice. I'll perform another miracle for her. You will do it again? I'll not forsake those who are in need. And it's take this time, right? It will stick. I can't promise anything. But why? Your miracles aren't supposed to be temporary, are they? Whenever they are not, is decided by you and your sister. You are my only hope, though. Please don't worry. If a second blessing is not enough to cure her of her ailment, then I will visit and give her my blood as many times as is necessary. I will gladly give her every last drop of blood in my body. Mel kinda literally took it literally. God damn it. I assure you, my father does not want to see two young souls like yourselves torn apart. Ow. And neither do I. We should get going. Alright. For the second time, Morgana had Nelly drink of her blood. And for the second time, she was healthy again the next morning. And for the second time, she fell ill shortly thereafter. If you return, I went to get Morgana. She gave Nelly her blood. And the cycle repeated again and again. And every time I had to watch her go through that ceremony, it was exhausting. Yeah, so Mel got like exhausted mentally more by these rituals and like this constant cycle than just like having Nelly being ill. Like it exhausted him more mentally. It was exhausting and I wasn't sure I could handle it much longer. I started thinking that maybe there wasn't anything sacred about any of this. This was as blasphemous as it looked from the outside. It was making the girl cut her own wrists and feed my sister her blood. I was making. Nothing about that sounded right. But I had nowhere else to go, no one else to ask for help. When I was with Morgana, listened to her words of reassurance. She without fail wiped away all the doubt I had. It wasn't until after she left that the wave of regret hit me. I wasn't sure what was right and wrong anymore. I wasn't sure what to do anymore. Every time I went to see Morgana, it got more and more difficult to look her in the eye. I stopped asking her on walks as often, and I stopped trying to have chats with her. And not so much out of a sense of guilt, but because I was getting to be afraid of her. Yeah. Oh, okay, meeting with Yukimasa, let's go. How the hell why did you, how did you find Mel? Did you actually were searching for him or what? Or was it accident? I guess like it was accident, he was for... okay, let's read. Let's just read. One of those draining days, someone knocked on the door. I hadn't asked Morgana to come down that day, so I wasn't sure who it could be. Nelly was asleep in her bed, so I quietly rose from my seat and made my way to the door, trying not to wake her up. Who is it? Hello, who's there? I had an inkling of suspicion, but having been raised in such a sheltered environment, I didn't understand exactly how dangerous it was to thoughtlessly open the door to anyone who came knocking. I put the door inward a couple inches and tried to take a peek through the crack. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But out of nowhere, someone grabbed my shoulder and shoved me helpless to resist into the house. A man stood there above me. Yep, there he is. Oops. That's our beast. What do you think you're doing? What do you want from me? I don't have anything valuable. I'm just a regular old peasant. I'm not here to rob you. What? You're in contact with a witch, are you not? How the hell did you find this out? Huh? The girl who lives by the lake calls herself a witch. Witch? I don't know any witch. The one who lives there is a saint. A saint? I was told she was a witch. But regardless, there's a girl who lives there with the miracle blood, no? Oh. Looks like I've got the right person. How the hell did you get this information? What do you want from me? I want you to help me. Huh? I need you to lure witch out into the open. And why do you need that? Because I need her blood. I need to get my hands on the witch miracle blood. Interesting. I'm very curious, what's the reason of Yukimasa to wanting her blood? I thought like he's been like basically hired by like Lord to get her back. But it's been like for his own sake? He needed blood for someone he knows? That's interesting. That's the part I didn't expect it to actually be a thing. Unless he's lying to Mel, just to get him cooperating. Could be also the thing. Then go ask her for it yourself. Or should I have to help you? Yeah, because she knows me. She won't open the door for me. You, I've seen you talking to her. Okay. You seem to be quite friendly with the witch. But if you saw them like outside, couldn't you just like attack them outside? I mean, like, they've been in the open, right? I mean, probably she could escape, then you would like lose element of surprise. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Taking little walks around the lake. How? I need your help. And what are you going to do once you have her outside? I have orders. Yeah, okay. Okay, I was wrong. I mean, I've been right in the first, then I was wrong today when I said like he needed blood for himself. Nope, he's been basically asked by the Lord to get her. Yep, okay, I was right. I didn't read that right. I have ordered from the Lord to take her captive. What? The Lord? Why would he? That is none of your concern. You accept me to buy that? All I need from you is to get the witch out of the house. Why would I? She doesn't trust me. I could always force my way in, but there's a chance something might go wrong, and I can't risk that. If she hears your voice, she will open the door, yes? The witch trusts you, unlike me. With your help, there's no risk of anything going wrong. No, You barge in here and tell me you want to capture her, and you think I'm going to agree to help? I mean, well, like, Yukimasa here have like very good bargaining chip if you think about this. Nelly is lying sick and he have a sword, you know? You basically have to decide Nelly or Morgana. Like hell I will. Oh, don't worry, you will get your share. You need the witch blood too, right? I don't care about getting a share. You are asking me to deceive her. I don't care what you think she is. She hasn't done anything wrong. So no, I won't help you capture her. You leave me no choice then. What? Ah. He approached the bed where Nelly slept. Yep. Exactly. That's what I thought. Drawing his sword and pressing the tip against her throat. It happened so quickly and without any warning, my mind couldn't keep up. I stood there, mouth half open like an idiot. If I were courageous, if I were gallant and brave, maybe I would have grabbed him, pulled him away from Nelly. But my legs seems to be severed from my mind. They were frozen to the floor like the two useless rocks. You have two options. Either you say no and protect the witch, get away, or you help me capture her. Get away from her right now. If you choose the witch, I kill the girl. Get away. Make your decision. Get away from her. You have until I count of 10. If you don't choose, I kill girl. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5. Okay, I will do it, I will help you. So get your sword out of her face. Don't kill her. But you would hold out until the last second. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get going. Yeah, so this is exactly what I expected. Like he's been threatened. Get moving. You pitiful little boy. I felt like jumping into the lake. I couldn't make sense of how I had ended up in such a position. Just a few months earlier, I had been living back at my family estate, hardly worrying in the world. Nelly had been healthy and happy. It had been exciting, no. But I had figured that was how things would always be. That one day I would fall for some noble girl, Nelly would get jealous, and I would have to spend several days or weeks pacifying her. Everyone would be happy, a life free of troubles. Because that was normal and I was normal. So what was I doing living in some tiny cottage, so far from home? Feeding my sister Miracle's blood. Also, probably after this, what happened, he couldn't escape anyway, like he kept being threatened, basically. First of all, he needed blood because he believed that it works, right, for his sister. Second, the Lord probably threatened him as well to help them, or they will kill Nelly. Because he's the only person who knew that they captured Morgana. So basically, based only on like this story so far and my assumptions for the future, I think that we cannot like forgive Mel, basically, what he did to Morgana. But it's also something that we cannot like fully say as like, you know, with he had like a lot like big reasons, right? It's just like, I don't know, like you have like your only family member, or your brother, your sister, your younger siblings, like being captured, and like every single day you are like getting photo of like them being like held on a gunpoint or something unless you do something, you know. Yeah, you would not want to do like shit, and also you probably would have to like hear their voice and stuff. Like you wouldn't be able to be justified for what your for your actions, because they are still evil for what you did. But You had a reason for it. So I think like he deserved to be like forgiven by Morgana basically for what he did to her. But his soul shouldn't be justified. He shouldn't like being tormented forever by her curse, I would say. He should have like, I don't know, maybe one reincarnation that is like fucked up and then let him pass on to hell. Basically. That's what I think. What was I doing walking beside this barbarian? What was I doing at all? I was conflicted. Part of me hoped we would never arrive at the lake. And part of me wanted to get there as quickly as possible so I can be done with this all. But time plodded on, no quicker than or slower than normal. And we arrived at Morgana door in short order, irrespective of my own selfish hopes. The thought of what was going on, what was going to happen next, filled me with a crushing sense of guilt. Even I may have been afraid of Morgana, but I had no grudge against her. I was actually quite grateful to her. She was still healing Nelly, even if the ceremony to do so inspired fear in me. She didn't hesitate to cut her own wrists open for Nelly and for me. She didn't grimace or even frown, though I knew it had to hurt. I knew damned well she wasn't a bad person, that she hadn't done anything to warrant being taken into custody. She might very well have been a genuine saint, but there I was selling her out because a man with the sword threatened he. Yeah. I mean, even if you had the guts to stand up to him, you were probably not even like remotely strong enough to stop him. And if you fight back, he probably wouldn't. He probably would like first of all injure you, and then threaten you, basically. So that would be even worse. Like, he couldn't do anything. Like, he's literally like in the position that he can't do like shit. Oh Father, who art in heaven, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. Please forgive me. Quit sniveling. You want her to get suspicious? But how? I can't, Please, oh God. Stop crying. Or would you rather I kill you here? Just close your eyes. It will be over before you know it. Do it. Call on the witch. Yeah, like he could sacrifice himself if you think about this. But who really have like who really would like give their lives like that, you know? And also, if he dies, Nelly will die as well. So yeah. Who's there? It's me. I'm not here about Nelly today. I'm sorry for being so distant lately. I want to talk things over. I thought I heard a faint gasp through the door, and then she responded. I want to talk to you too. God fucking damn it. The worst time to betray her. No wonder she cursed him. God fucking damn it. Why? Why did she have to want to talk now? She'd always been so curt, so rational, so quick to cut down my fantasies. Never one to get emotional or sentimental. She had always given all the impression of being something greater than we, mere humans. Always been so aloof, never giving any indication she thought anything of me at all. So why? Why did she sound like a normal girl now? Why was her voice trembling slightly when she wanted to talk? Why now, of all times? Yeah. God damn it. And instant cut. Get back, no, stay away from me. Help. Don't kill me. Take it. It's your share. Should last you long enough. Why did you take my arm? What do you mean by share? Why? Yeah. That'll happen in less than a minute. I told her I wanted to talk. She opened the door. Then I heard a sound like the wind whipping my ear. And the next thing I knew, her cottage was covered in blood. Never once did I expected anything to happen how it did. When he'd said he would capture her, I took it. I took it to mean exactly that. I hadn't thought he would turn brutal. That he would do something so horrific. After the man cut her arm off, Morgana trampled to the floor, floundering about as she watched, blood trickling down her curved blade in his hand. Yeah, what Mel did he do with the arm though? That's my question too. Her screams were indistinguishable from those of the normal person. Kneeling in the grass at the lakeshore, I vomited and I vomited and I vomited. The things I had seen in the cabin were far too much for me to handle. I tossed the arm, Morgana arm the man had given me, into the lake. Okay. He actually tossed it out. What else I was supposed to do with it? It was an arm. A human arm. You would have to be insane to go carry around someone's severed arm. I tried to convince myself it was all a dream. Some terrible nightmare. But I could still feel the warmth of her skin fresh on my hands. The warmth of her blood on my fingers. Dragging me back to reality. My mind couldn't keep up with the flood of thoughts and emotions and images. I wanted to close my eyes, but I was too afraid I would find the bloodbath in the cottage on the back of my eyelids, which left me with nothing to do but wail. I was horrified at what I had done. I knew that I was the one who had set it all in motion. If I had got quiet, Morgana wouldn't have had her arm cut off. Yeah. Like, the whole thing is happening because of Mel right now. Like, he's like the main source of everything that happened here. If not for him, then... I mean, Yukimasa probably could get Morgana, as he said, but there was always a risk. So there was a chance that she could escape. But, like... yeah. I didn't want to admit it was my fault. I didn't want to accept that I had accosted. I did nothing wrong. It's not my fault. He threatened me. It's not my fault, I had no choice. I didn't do anything. I frantically scrabbled my blood-soaked clothes in the lake. As I watched the red clouds spread, I knew I was defying something pure and beautiful, but my awareness of the fact was slowly disappearing, like the blood through the clear water. By the time I had gotten all the blood off my clothes, the sun was beginning to set. I came back to my senses, at the sound of the bird chirping, and quickly recalled I had left Nelly alone in the house. My legs were shaking. I could barely keep myself upright. But remembering her gave me enough motivation to drag myself back home. If she hadn't been waiting there for me, I seriously might have thrown myself into the lake instead. Okay. Mel? Yeah, I now confront with Nelly. What? He never told her truth. What's the matter, dearest Mel? Where have you been? Mel? I'm so sorry. What? I'm sorry. Will you ever be able to forgive me? Dearest Mel? I never meant for this to happen. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm begging you to forgive me. I'm begging you. Where you not be able to get my medicine. Is that what you're crying about? It's not a big deal, Mel. I'm just fine, honest. I'm alright. Thanks. And that was enough for him to, like, basically cover everything up. Because he couldn't even talk about this. I wanted to forget everything. I wanted to forget about my involvement, about the horrible things I caused to happen. But never lay down to go to sleep. I heard her screams, Morgana in melting holes. I saw her cottage. Blood splattered everywhere. I felt her severed arm, still warm in my hands. From that day on, what slept I got was hardly stressful. Nelly probably didn't notice anything through her feverish gaze, but I'm willing to bet I looked like hell. Praying time would cause the memory to fade. I started looking for doctors again. Instead of clinging to a miracle, I would try to have Nelly's sickness cured the way normal people did. At some point though, all the money I've been given started running low. If I'd thought about it for 2 seconds, I would have seen it coming. I haven't been exactly frugal in my attempts to find cure for Nelly, nor have been especially concerned about money before she fell ill. Yep, that's what I said. Like, it would be... Like, I cannot afford any medicine because I don't have money. I never took a serious job. I was so used to living like an aristocrat, and I couldn't succeed in breaking those old habits, which left me with only one thing I could do for Nelly: be with her, day in and day out. Every day that passed, I lost a little more hope. If I couldn't do anything and Nelly died, I would be utterly alone. And that was what scared me more than anything. The nightmares were eating away at me, leaving me with nowhere to run. And if I didn't have someone there with me, I wouldn't have been able to hold myself together. After 3 or so days of me sitting by Nelly's bedside, hardly moving, there was a knock on the door. Okay. So I assume Yukimasa is back. Or even the Lord. He's going to be like, oh, thanks for getting Morgana. Like, we are going to reward you. Yeah, we're going to make your sister getting better, so you work with us now. Could be that way as well, because he's like mentally destroyed at this point. Who's there? Who is it? Open the door. Yeah. Unless you want me to kick it down. My suspicion was correct. I couldn't think of anyone else who would come visit. But what I didn't know was why he had come back. I know I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Open the door. Leave me alone, please. I want nothing to do with anything you're doing. Open the door. I'm not letting you in for any reason. Okay then, I'll break it down. Don't. My sister's inside sleeping. I don't need you waking her up. Then open it. What do you need? I did everything you asked me to already. What happened to the witch arm? I threw it. I threw it away. Do you really think I was going to keep that? A person's arm? Mel, what's going on? Do I have a visitor? Nelly? I should get them something to drink. Don't worry about it, Nelly. Get some sleep, alright? Can we go outside? I'd really rather not talking here. Fine by me. So he's being concerned basically about like someone will find out the hand and will like start questioning from where this hand is. And also they could like, if someone knew Morgana beforehand, they could identify her by the scars or something, you know? So that's your sister. I mean, you saw her before. Explains why you look so much alike. Oh, because he was like, I will kill the girl. Okay, makes sense. That's none of your damn business. You wanted a miracle blood to cure your sick sister, did you not? Are you telling me you threw the army away? Are you interested in getting more blood? What? We are taking the witch blood, turning it into a medicine and selling it through the church. Selling it? You're doing business in a house of worship? No? I suppose we're technically giving it away. But we are asking for tithes. Tithes. So really it's the same thing. I'm not from this land, so to me it looks no different than the business, but the people here see it as charity. The Lord says if you will assist us, he will provide you with the medicine we're making. The Lord? Why would the Lord be? Hell if I know. Because it seems like good money? Okay. I mean, probably he's just like, we need to get Mel on our side because Mel technically been before aristocrat. So if they get like both like dead, then people will like find out. They will like track the backstory of Mel, the Rhodes, and then Rhodes will be like trying to figure out who killed Mel, basically, and everything will go to him and Lord being accused by that, by some like nobility and stuff also, like even though Rhodes don't have like enough power over Lord and stuff, that would still impact his like credibility basically, and how people views him. So yeah, like they needed basically Mel to get on their side. So it'll help us. You're gonna make me get my hands dirty for you again? I can't, not again. Alright, I forgot to mention one detail. You don't have a choice this time. Huh? You know about the miracle blood, which means we can't let you go unattended. Yep, expected. You would say no, I have permission from the Lord to kill you on the spot. Why? So, will you help us? Or will you die here? Yeah. What was the right thing for me to do then? Should I have fought back and died? Should I have tried and run? Should I have tried taking my own life? I'm sure you've heard enough to know by now. I'm a weakling, a pushover. I don't have the spine to do anything but agree to meet with the Lord. He told me about the mansion, and he gave me one of the set of 3 keys. I wanted so badly to get rid of the key, but with that man's shadows constantly hanging over me, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Not when I could be the next one to end up losing a limb or two. There was no way I could have disobeyed them. Pretty much. I mean, my idea of like credibility of Lord and stuff was also kind of good, I think. Probably. You can let me know in the comments what do you think about that idea, that like chain reaction. You think like it could actually happen? I wonder. And that's everything that happened 6 months ago. Every day since I arrived here, I bought Morgana breakfast and supper. He doesn't say anything, but I saw it in her eyes the first time I stepped through the door. How could you do that to me? I never looked her in the eyes since, because I'm too afraid of what I might see in them. Okay. And that is how I ended up here. And that's how we're going to end episode. I don't know how, if this is 1 episode or 2 episodes. Maybe it's actually 1 long episode. Who knows? I did recently the vote poll of like if 2-hour episodes are good or not, and like a lot of people said yes. I cannot tell you that I will do 2-hour episodes every single time. I may do some longer episodes if I feel like it's better to, if I have time basically. Like I could like read ahead maybe and can like fit like 2 episodes ahead somewhere, like 2-hour episodes somewhere. But I will try to do this like more constantly, like not too often, because it's still like 1 hour more of like recording. But yeah, you can expect from time to time like 2 hours episode. Not sure if like this is the one or this is like split in two. Not sure yet. I will see. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Mel backstory? Do you think like Morgana did the right thing to curse him? Does he deserve to be punished by Morgana? I think like he doesn't deserve to be punished by Morgana. I would actually forgive him, but still send him to hell basically. You know, because what he did is unforgivable, because he kept like working with them and stuff, but on the other hand, who would not be afraid for their lives and for the lives they loved? Like, he had like basically no choice. And that's what's horrifying in this. So yeah, thank you for being with me. Let me know in the comments what do you think, and I will see you next one. So leave a like if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you would like to support me and see the episodes earlier. Probably next episode is already on memberships, if you remember. Probably. Maybe tomorrow. Or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you everyone for being with me. I'll see you next one. So for the Pocket Watch, it's going out.